All right, you guys, excellent news. So I just got this vintage T-Rex. I have two of these from when I was a kid too. But I can't destroy those because those are really sentimental. But I've got this other one that I just picked up. His face needs a little heat treatment to level that back out. But I'm gonna do another Gamera kitbash. Putting this vintage T-Rex Godzilla head on this Gamera. All right, I'll give you an update in just a bit. Yeah, you guys, this is gonna look so cool. Old school cool, man. So what I think I'm actually gonna do with this head here is I'm gonna put some hot glue in the mouth right here because this is such thin plastic, and then I'll kind of hold it back into shape, and that'll make the head thicker, and it should get rid of that weird distortion. But yep, I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll give you an update in just a bit. All right, let me show you something real quick, guys. So here he is with his head fully attached. And I thought about maybe taking some cast of some dorsal plates to put on the back. But then I was looking at one of these AliExpress shins, and I think it's just going to be a lot easier for me to go ahead and cut all those spines off in one single chunk. And I will put that along the center right here as the Godzilla spikes. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you that in just a bit. All right. Our vintage bootleg inspired Godzilla Gamera mix is coming right along. I really love how those dorsal plates fit perfectly on the back of the shell here. So now I'm going to just cook up some epoxy sculpt and blend all the edges down the back and around the neck. And then this guy will be ready for painting. All right, talk to you soon. Hey guys, here is our Godzilla Gamera bootleggy thing that's got all the epoxy sculpt on it. I think that came out pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and prime them in black, and I'll be back in just a minute. Alright guys, so here is our Gamera Godzilla vintage looking bootleg, all primed up with black. I'm going to start throwing some colors on that, and I'll give you an update in just a minute. Alright guys, so we've done a first little dry brushing on there, and that was actually a mix of that purple and this kind of green. Now I'm going to do a lighter dry brushing of this darker green, followed by this light blue, and I think that's going to give a nice, intermixed color over the skin here. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you that before we start painting the shell. Alrighty, and here our friend is again, with that green dry brushing over the blue. And now we're just going to do this light blue very lightly over that. Alright, I'll do that and give you an update. Here's a good spot to check in with you guys. So I'm going to do purple on the outside, green and blue. And then we'll do some other color inlays on the shell part. And I think I'll just do a dry brushing of like a copper over the blue on the back. So you can see over here I've got that matte color. And I did that because my iridescent green doesn't really have good coverage. So I did matte first and then did the iridescent. Alright, probably should have checked in earlier, but it is what it is. We've also got our rocking our Godzilla beer here in the background. But anyways, so here's where we're at. We painted the dorsal plates with blue and then gold and then copper and then little bits of red way up at the tips. I really like how that's coming along. I'm going to put some more of that copper inlay around the purple scoots on the side there, and then we'll do a dark green inlay. I haven't done anything on the inside of the carapace yet, but we'll get to that in just a minute. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start adding those little copper inlays right here, and I'll come back to you in just a bit. After a long night of pounding back Godzilla PBRs, we were able to lock in and get them done. And here he is. He's all finished, you guys. Our vintage bootleggy Godzilla Gamera mashup is done. Here he's with his little display power effect here, knocking over this guy. Yeah, he is finished. What do you guys think? I love all the colors on this. I think he came out really nice. And remember that head's a from the Imperial 1985 T-Rex. That was already kind of like a Godzilla knockoff, but I wanted this thing to have really old school, ancient vibes, and I think vibes, and I think we accomplished that. But let me know what you think. Do you like them? Do you not like them? I definitely will be building more of these in the future. Probably with actual Bandai Godzilla heads, but I wanted this one, the first one, to be that real old school, 80s look, and because, well, that is an 80s head, but that head's 40 years old, and he's got a new, nice, flashy body for the next 40 years. All right, y'all, thanks so much for coming along with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and hold on tight for the next one.